Hi guys, it's Lori the Frugal Mom, and in today's video I'm just going to discuss how hard it is to love somebody that has mental health issues. As many of you know, my 15-year-old son, he does suffer from some mental health issues. He has ADHD, ODD, conduct disorder, and this is not a mental issue, but he does have auditory processing disorder. So about a week ago, he attacked me. I'm okay. I know how to run and duck, and he was escorted by the police to our local hospital that has a children's mental health program. 4 years ago, he was also at that program. However, that time we went to another local hospital, and we had to stay at that local hospital in the emergency room for a week before we were transferred, and then he was in that program for another week, so he was gone for 2 weeks. So this time I had the foresight to just make sure we went to the correct hospital, and he was admitted into their children's psychiatric unit the next day. Having said that, before he was admitted to the children's unit, we were in the PES unit, which is, like an emergency psychiatric unit at the hospital where there's screenings and whatnot, and then it's decided whether or not you're kept. That's a mixed unit, it's a locked unit, there's all different people with all different issues, all different ages, and so being that he's a minor, I had to stay with him, which I was happy to do. But we didn't sleep, and he wasn't medicated with his medication until after 1 o'clock in the morning, because first he had to be screened, then I had to talk to a psychiatrist. Everybody made their recommendations. The psychiatrist had to submit a medication order, and then he got his meds. So it's a lengthy process, and by then he was feeling very anxious, crying, shaking. It was not easy. But anyway, the good news is he was admitted the following day, but leaving him there, it's always heartbreaking. It's soul-sucking. It stinks, guys. It really does, to leave your baby in a place like that. Even though the staff is very nice, it's upsetting. So, he's been there now for 6 days. I went to go see him today. He seems like he's doing better. I spoke to his social worker, and he is. They have adjusted his medication. A couple of issues that we're having is the school district will not let him back into the school, the physical school, until he has completed a residential program. His father and I have spent a lot of money on treatment programs for him over the last 2 years. We are out of money. Many of you know that I live on a fixed income, and his father does not have limitless resources, so now we have to use Medicaid instead of private insurance, and there's a lot of red tape that you have to cut through in order for them to go to a residential program in the Medicaid network. First, you have to have all of his evaluations redone, which were only done last year. Then the care management organization has to review all that, and then they have to choose an appropriate treatment facility, and then you wait for a bed. So currently the district is proposing that we do a hybrid model of in-person tutoring and online instruction for my son. With the issues that I described he has, this is not easy for him. He gets very frustrated. He has a very low frustration tolerance. He has, a lot of learning issues. He has an IEP, and this is not the best for him. And I understand why they don't want him in the building. However, they do have something called the Visions program, which is highly supervised with special teachers who are trained to deal with children like my son. There's a limited amount of students in the program. We had an interview with them last year, and we were told by them that they would like him to complete a program. He was in a program for 2.5 weeks, almost 3 this summer, and unfortunately he was released for fighting. So they tell us that there is no other alternative school that he could go to until the district has exhausted all the possible options that they have for him to stay in district and in the current school system. In the meantime, this is really unfair to my son. He misses the social atmosphere of school. It's making it hard for him to learn with his disabilities. We're 2 weeks almost into the new school year, and they still haven't found tutors for him. And I told them a good 3 weeks before school even opened that this was going to be the case. And they knew even before that this was going to be the case, because it can take months in a state-run facility paid for by Medicaid for a child to get a bed at this age. So people, just so you're aware, the system is so broken. These kids with these issues that they're dealing with, and I don't know why there's such an overabundance of these issues in these kids. Maybe it's social media, it's the music that's being put out there. If you've listened to any of this new school rap, oh my god, it's so offensive and suggestive. I don't know if it's these violent video games, YouTube, like I said, all the social media. They can't get away from the bullying. All these different things that they just shouldn't be exposed to at this age. They really should just be kids like we were. I know I sound old, but they really just should be. However, I'll get off my soapbox about that. It's just, the whole thing's frustrating. It hurts. I'm exhausted. Well-meaning people are there for me, but you can't talk to everybody about these issues. Not everybody will understand. They'll assume that it's something that I'm doing that has made him like this, and unfortunately we have a family history of different mental illnesses, and that just is what it is. A lot of people do. It's not the end of the world. You just have to get the right treatment, but it's just in getting the right treatment for these kids in a timely manner. There needs to be more services, not less. There needs to be more funding towards these programs for these kids, especially in the lower income area. Now, I'm not asking for a handout. We just need some help. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to me. I'm being told by his social worker at the hospital that since it is such a lengthy process to get him into a program, there is no, respite care, that if he does act up again, he may have to have several stints in the hospital. Now, I don't want that for my child. No one does. But in order to stay safe, we may have to do this. So, like I said, I do have some people who are there for me, but there's a limit to how much they can be there for me. I'm just feeling really sad and depressed today. As many of you know, I posted yesterday about the passing of my daughter's best friend, the 2-year anniversary yesterday, and in that regard, there needs to be more mental health services as well. This is my kitty. He's a mental health service for me. That's Teddy. So, anyway, I digressed. He's gonna hop. There he goes. It's just sad that kids are feeling so depressed and so hopeless that they feel that they have no other choice in life but to end theirs, and that the services are not there for all of our kids that needs to be, and that the adults that we trust in the schools to look after them when we're not, they're not doing their part as they should. They're not taking these issues seriously, and that my son is missing out on his education because he suffers from these mental health issues. It's just so heartbreaking, and it's a really heavy load to carry, you guys. So I will leave you with that. Again, my goal in making these videos is so that if any of you are in a similar situation, you won't feel so alone. You'll know that there's other people out there who are dealing with the very same things, and we should all be there for each other and treat each other with kindness. Not, look side-eyed at somebody. Oh, she must have done something wrong for her child to end up like that. Or you better get your child under control. I mean, my landlord has said to me that I need to talk to my son about, how he damages the property and tell him that, we'll be evicted. And I wish that would work, but unfortunately, if he's got mental health issues, it's not going to, because when he gets to a certain point, he's just not going to care. He's not capable of it. So that's what I mean. There's plenty of things to make us as parents who are dealing with these issues feel very isolated. It's hard. So don't feel alone. Like I said, if you're dealing with this, you could reach out to me. I'll talk to you, and we can get through this together. And we will get through this together. if any of you are dealing with it, we will. I know that this is just a season of my child's life and that things will get better. I pray every day. So that's what this video is about. I ask for your continued support and prayers for my son and my family. I feel like we're just so fractured right now as my daughter has moved out so that she can feel more comfortable in her life. And that's not easy either. But I have to have faith. You know, I always say that God has us in the palm of his hand, that there is a plan and there is a path for us. So I'm going to keep trying my best to stay positive. And I thank all of my new subscribers and my current ones. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is just, a discussion about mental health issues and how hard it is to have someone you love dealing with them. And I will continue with more content on how to be frugal and be a good homemaker. Other than this, I hope that you all have a great night. I am off to bed, and I'm hoping I can get a good night's sleep. I'm sending love from New Jersey to all of you. Take care.